what's good everybody? It's CDG here, and today we go for another video, feel me? And today we're going to be reviewing one random manhwa. I know last time we did one random one-shot manga. Today we're going to review one random manhwa, and it's, the way this series also works, since there's definitely two different series, is that we look at it, we go through the subreddit, we go anywhere. I'm in the subreddit, I'm in the manhwa subreddit, right? And first manhwa I'll see whether it's like a post from somebody or I'll scroll through the subreddit. That's the Reddit we do. Y'all can also suggest the Reddit, and I'll just randomly pick one of the comments in the comment section, you feel me? And we basically just tackle the first arc. We do a brief summary, like a real quick summary of what the topic of the story is, what the concept of the story is, and we split it into 4 different parts for the review section, right? We have art style, which is basically how much I like the art style out of 25 points. We have world building, how much I feel like they really expanded on the world building, 25 points. Writing, which is how much I like the writing, 25 points. I mean, everything's out of 25 points because it's supposed to make them 100. And final is character dynamics, how much I feel like these characters feel real people. Like they're supposed to feel real and maybe connect with these characters to understand, oh yeah, this isn't artificial, this is real people talking to each other. You know what I mean? So let's get on to the video. And today's manhwa, you know, that was a very long introduction, but today's manhwa is WEST MURIM. You feel me? And the summary for WEST MURIM is essentially, but 1,000 years ago, essentially, there was a bunch of martial artists in town. That's usually how Murims go. And about 1,000 years ago, you know, the Imperial Army stepped in, essentially. And the Imperial Army basically took down everybody and made everyone bow to their feet. And to the point where the Imperial Army was so powerful and so strong, and the martial arts was so strong that it lasted 1,000 years. You feel me? Like 1,000 years. Their range was so strong, it lasted 1,000 years. So much to the point where they were basically, it was a tyrannical system. They were abusing their people, they're abusing their citizens, and the resources was so low that everyone felt like they were dying out until they discovered new land, right? And the new land they discovered had completely new resources for everybody there, right? And the people that went there were martial artists in hiding that would try to, get away from the imperial, emperor, the imperial, guards, the imperial, everybody, the imperial army, you feel me, trying to get away from, what I'm saying, they didn't get cut. Because if you were a martial artist at that time, you were getting either cut down or you was working under the imperial army, you feel me? The descendants of old dynasties thought to be long dead because they basically coded everybody else, so they were the top of the leaderboard, you feel me? Scoreboard. Criminals who had committed sins. Basically, criminals are like, okay, the Imperial Army is so strong, I can't be doing this, but they'll go to the new land so they can do what they do. And even lunatics who had learned the evil demonic arts, which you'll find out what demonic arts are later in the story. Just for reference, if you don't like anything to do with demons because you're a Christian like me, then this is probably not your story, because demonic arts is something very popular in Murim stories, you feel me? And then we meet the main character of this. I forgot his name. His name's gonna pop up right here. I always forget the names of these characters. I also don't have a script. I'm really reading off the top of my head. Leave me alone, right? I feel like I'm talking too fast. My fault. Let me slow it down for y'all. We got a main character who's reading a story about the whole history of the world he's in through a book that somebody had from a dead carcass, right? And that's the beginning of chapter 0. That's the whole plot. Feel me? So far. The only caveat is that I'm going to talk about it in world building, but there's something else we need to know for like the sake of the summary. But that's all. Now let's hop into our main review points. It's time to review it after giving a brief summary, right? First, art style. I already love the art style, and the art style gives me very much you talking Nakamura vibes. If you know what that animator is, I'll probably play a scene right here if I can without getting completely copyrighted, for one. Reminds me of a lot of Nian 41 vibes. If you don't know who that animator is, he's someone that was working on the newest anime called Super Cube. That's a Chinese anime. I forgot what it's called. It's like a Donghua, I think. We look at that. We have a great look at the main character. We have him with his CGI horse, not CGI horse, 3D model horse. We call him 3D Horse On. I like to call him 3D Horse On because he's a 3D horse, and we just see that. And then we can see just like the blood and destruction from where he's walking from, and that shows how, like, the art style already. I love the art style, right? I'm gonna get to after all the screenshots, I'm gonna tell you my rating, right? But I love how the art conveys a Western style, because it's supposed to be like Wild West cowboys mixed with like ancient Chinese Murim fantasy world, right? And I really like that, right? And you can see like the devastation, how it feels like this is a beautiful scene, but it's also like a wasteland of dead bodies, which is really tragic. We have people what do you think this place is, you lunatic? You know what I'm saying? Them about to throw hands. He throws his fist, he dodges, he weaves the punch, he grabs him by the neck, grabs the other dude by the collar, grabs them, and you can see the whiteout in his eyes that makes him look so cool. And it slams them together, and I love that. I love that little art. I love the red background. It's so cool for like a visual effect of a fight. They both get knocked out, fall to the ground. You know, see him jumping over a table to kick someone in the face, lands the kick in that dude's mouth, and then completely sends him flying. I love manhwas that do that like large spread where it goes down, because you can screenshot it and then widen the image and it looks so cool. I'm saying, and then we can see the down kick, and you can show like I love how it looks like it feels like it'll be in motion, right? And I love the goofy faces. I love very expressional faces that show like a lot of character. You can see the personality of the Arthur through the way he draws people getting hit. He literally decks someone in the face, and you can see his two knuckles are flared up at the bottom, showing that the Arthur probably either watched a lot of kung fu movies in the past or seen some bit of kung fu or karate or some type of martial arts. You feel me? And then you can see the elbow hit. I love that elbow hit whenever somebody does that in any setting. It's just so cool. And you can see him kicking someone, literally sliding the jaw. And he said, "Don't come close." Damn, you can see his white out face, like his blacked out face with just a white eye, and it feels like the Grim Reaper step into them themselves. And then we can just see how there's the introduction of a dude from the Union, right? The Imperial Union. And they look at, and the way they present him is so damn cool with a whited out background, and it gives him aura. It makes you feel like this person is a very important. And you can see the wrinkles in his clothes, and it looks like he was meant to be in motion. And then we have 3D. We have 3D horse on. 3D horse on. 3D horse on. We love 3D horse on. And just him chilling. Like, I love the wrinkles in his clothes. It's so damn gas and fire, bro. You see him cutting down a bunch of men, and just a long spread, and you just saw him going through it, and just you see CGI horse on. I think you're saying CGI 3D horse on, but CGI horse on. I'm calling CGI horse on because that's not how you correctly say it, but I want to. And then you can just see the standoff. It's like I love it because a Western standoff between guns also gives off the same violence, like a samurai showdown type of like not samurai showdown or cowboy showdown feels the same vibes when you stand there and wait for the other person to attack, or like y'all try to attack at the same time, see who gets hit. I love that. See him cut through, and I love how you can see the cave floor. Like, it feels, I keep saying this, but it feels like it is meant to be animated. It feels like it is in motion. He says, "I have no intention of sparing you." He really looks cool in this scene. He looks like, oh yeah, he's a maniac, a fighting maniac. And I love this sense. I love the type of mentality you can get from a person just off their face and the way the author draws the main character's face. You feel me? And then you can just see him giving him a whole combo around his body. And then it's like why am I forgetting it? It's the same thing Akuma does in fighter games, where he does a barrage attack and then walks away. Well, no, he doesn't walk away. This bro riding into the sunset after they talk about how cool he is and how respectful bro is as a martial artist. And I love the vibe it gives, how it can give Western and give ancient Chinese at the same time. Feel me? So if I had to give art style anything, I'd give it like a 19 out of 20. No, because it's 25, 23 out of 25. I really and honestly love the art style. You feel me? Now on to the next section, which is writing. Writing, for one example is when he fights one of the dudes in the bar that has a high standing and causes commotion. Writing wise, I love when the shopkeeper says, "We won't allow any more commotion. I'll return your noodle, soup cost, and room fee." Where it's like, okay, you're causing a big commotion. You make the rest of my patrons feel unsafe. So instead of telling you, "Get out now," he's like, "You know what, bro? I'm gonna have to give you the respect you deserve. I'm gonna refund you on everything. You gotta pay. You can just leave, bro." You know what I mean? I'd prefer if you leave. Which is a reasonable response, because he's being respectful to the person that just beat up a bunch of people, and he's also like, "I'd rather you not be in my store." So he's being respectful. Con artist saying, "It seems that this was a misunderstanding between each side. Greetings, I am Yang Guyong." I promise you I butchered that. I apologize. And then the dude that came in to not avenge his brother, but get justice for his brother, who also kind of works for the Union, even though he's a separate own martial artist group that's definitely prohibited. he instantly calls him out for being a card artist. He's like, yo, you're a card artist. He calls the other dude a hooligan because he just doesn't care. Like, he came over to him and he noticed that, like, yeah, he's a hooligan because he doesn't care. At least you're not saying that you're going to kill us off immediately. And then the dude's like, of course I'm not. I'm a righteous man of the martial world. I wouldn't kill a man in an inn in broad daylight. You think I'm dumb? No, I wouldn't do that. But what you done to my brother's face, I can't let you slide. I'm not gonna lie. You couldn't have possibly died of leaving my town with your limbs intact. Like, I ain't gonna let. Like, I'm taking a leg. I'm not gonna lie. I can't let that slide, twin. And he's like, at the very least, I'll cripple your arm or your leg. Well, if you don't prefer that, then I'll settle with the thing between your legs. I don't know why he thought, damn, I'm gonna go for the nuts for no reason. I think that's kind of concerning with the face he's making. I don't know. Some FBI, check him out. And then he's basically telling him, if someone in this situation is this calm, wouldn't people normally be wary and think this man may have something? And he's basically saying, if I'm this calm, wouldn't you assume that maybe I'm part of the union that you work with? And then he instantly apologized. He's like, wait, he has a great point. He instantly apologized. He's like, I didn't know that you were part of the union. I apologize for not recognizing you immediately. He's like, oh no, you're wrong. I'm not part of it. Uses that to distract him and get the drop on him and kick him in the face. Great writing wise. Both of these great writing wise, because it leads into, like, okay, he's not dumb enough to be one of those over-the-top villains who's going to kill someone in broad daylight. But he also is going to be vindictive and shows that he's a separate martial artist group for a reason. These are still technically, like, kind of like criminals, right? Or like vigilantes in a way. Or they're like marksmen. So they're not, like, officiated, and they're probably evil. Probably don't do very good practices, right? For one. For two, it also works in a way that it's like, okay, if someone's being that calm in the first place, why are they being that calm? You should probably be wary. And if someone says, oh, maybe I'm one of the people part of the union, you probably wouldn't assume that in a way, or be ashamed type of wary, because you're either dumb or very skilled or part of someone you work with. You feel me? So that's a great line of thinking that the bad guy had. And then when the officer of the union of the Imperial Army comes in, he basically tells him, he basically has a conversation with the main character and tells him, yo, so you beat all these guys? I thought they were all supposed to be martial artists. I'm like, yeah, not all of them. Only like one of them actually can fight. The other guys just suck. And he's like, oh, and they are clearly alive too. Arrest that man. And he wasn't talking about the main character. He was talking about the dude who called him in. The brother got his nose beaten by the main character because he wouldn't let the main character deal with his own card artist. Because the card artist originally also caught the main character. The main character is trying to get his money back. And the other dude, this dude right here in this picture, got caught by the card artist too. The main character was like, bro, get your money back in blood. I'm gonna get my money now that he stole from you, because I need my money now. You need your money whenever you get it. Go do what I did, get it back in blood. And he's like, I bet, nah, I ain't letting that slide. The main character decks him in the nose, breaks his nose. He gets his brother gets knocked out. And he brings the union. He's like, oh, see, I got the union on you now. I got police on you now. And police is like, arrest him. Okay, because not only is this has nothing to do with us, for one, but 9 of the Katavir clan were knocked out, including Jing Chok Seo. Like 9 of y'all, like all y'all got knocked out. Like really? Like really? Y'all all suck that bad? Like what reason do I have to be patient with you? Like, I was only cool with you because I thought you were strong. Once I realized you weren't strong, man, I'll take you in. I'm not even supposed to let this slide, but I let it slide because, like, y'all strong. And he's like, do you think my elder brother would just hold still once he wakes up? He was like, obviously not. He will be waking up in bars. We're not just going to let him slide. We're just going to, why would we leave him? Why would we leave him? Someone who's an actual martial artist, even though he's not that strong, knocked down on the floor, let him wake up and take revenge. No, we're going to arrest him while he's already knocked down on the ground, idiot. Also questions the main characters, like, where did you learn your martial arts from? This is very, like, where did you get it from? Like, the fact you could take on, like, oh, so this is all you do all day? It's just kill, steal, and rob from innocent people? He's like, yeah, isn't that what the Imperial Army did? The Imperial Army did the exact same thing. They killed, stealed, plundered, looted, and conquered everybody that was weaker than them. And they call it business, they call it a job. They call it what they had to do. They'll say this is what we had to do. Feel me? That's what all emperors and kings who vandalize his lands will say. So why can't me, a simple bandit, say I'm doing my job the same way they did their job? And main character's like, bro, you're just using that as an excuse to be a bad person. He's like, who cares? You're probably right. He's like, you're right. Yeah, I am. But like, hey, who cares? That's great writing, because it's just like, it acknowledges that the big corporate system is doing the exact same thing that he's doing, but he's just doing it on a smaller scale, and he's getting blamed for it. And it's like, yeah, just because the bigger factions are able to do it on a wider scale doesn't mean what you're doing is right either. What you're both doing is wrong. Is that you still have a choice and you're choosing not to. He used acupuncture on the old man to stop the bleeding for like a few days, right? And the old man was surprised, like, you're a martial artist and you know acupuncture? And he's like, well, and the main character's like, oh, not many martial artists learn acupuncture. And then the reader would think, why? If you're a martial artist and consistently get into fights, why wouldn't you learn a technique that can help you heal after your fight? But then the main character explains it like, yo, most martial artists are not thinking about how they're going to survive after the fight. They're just thinking about, how can I get stronger so I can mutilate my enemy? How can I kill my enemy so brutally to the point where I don't have to worry about healing? I can just kill them so bad that they can't do enough damage to me. Ghosts wandering the nether world with resentment or sent to heaven. Whether they be reincarnated like this man, no one knows. But he hoped they go to a place where they could forget pain and difficulty of life. That brief thought was all he could allow in this wilderness. That whole sentence is basically, after he killed all the bandits by himself and is traveling with the man and his son to the next town so the man can get healed, he's basically just wishing them, he's just basically saying RIP. That's just a more elegant and more thought out way to say RIP. And he's basically saying, all I can think about is just RIP, hope y'all rest in peace. And that's all the wilderness, that's all the savage land allows me to think. I can't think about giving y'all a burial. I can't think about reporting y'all to the police. I don't have time for any of that. This is such a savage place that all I can do is kill you and just say RIP and then move on with my life. You feel me? They're basically, investigating the situation because they were looking for them. He's like, well, it's good that their number has decreased. I thought it didn't make sense for the two of us to take care of all of them, because the force that the main character just took out was like 1/3 of the force. And then the two cops that pulled up were like, yo, I'm glad it's only 1/3. I'm glad 1/3 got taken out, because I thought it was dumb that they sent 2 officers to fight on a whole group of 30 people. That's insane. Because the people he fights later on like 20 different people. The people who fought just now, like 10. So it's like, damn. Like, no, it was like 20. It was like around 20 in total. And he took out 1/3 of the force. I'm not going to do the math on that. But he's like, yo, I'm not fighting 20 people. Like, it didn't make sense for us to fight 22 different people. That's crazy. Then when he beats the entire force, who all are using demon arts, the officer asks his lady officer, who's basically like his commander, and says, can we really let him go like that? Shouldn't we at least do a body check first, like to see if he took any books of demonic arts? We kind of don't want that to spread because a lot of lunatics and murderers use that. And it's like, there's no need to do that, because the MC's martial arts is stronger than any demonic arts. Would you really envy the maniacal demonic arts that he's already defeated with his own hands? Like, why would the main character want to use that inferior martial arts to make himself go crazy and be weaker at the same time? That doesn't make a lot of sense. So that's the end of the writing bit with all the painters I use. If I had to give writing anything, I'll give it 20 out of 25. It's really damn good. It's really cohesive. It's really understandable. It makes sense for characters to do certain things, and I really like that. I really like the idea of like, okay, a character does this because it makes sense, not because it wouldn't make sense. Bad writing is when you try to execute something and it doesn't work well, or when a character does something that's out of character for them, or they just wouldn't do, and it just wouldn't make sense for the situation. That's what bad writing is, and I have not felt that yet. And to be fair, this is only the first arc of the story, which is the Outlaw arc. That's what it's called by me, because there's no official wiki page of the arcs, so I'm just calling it that. And I made up the own arc, and if you have a problem with it, fight me over it. I don't know. So, on to our next section, world building. Okay, I yapped a lot for this section unnecessarily. Essentially, the entire conversation between any amount of world building, the first 9 chapters, is really just done through the con artist who's been around town a lot, because he's a con artist going through town to town, conning people, So he explains the different societal factors within the Murim world. The fact that even though there's a chaos sect which should be outlawed and should be controlled by the martial union, it is left to run free because they have a certain connection with each other, for one. For two, they're also super strong, and as long as they don't toe a certain line, the martial union will let it slide. And also saying the reason why
the Martial Union took the opportunity to, betray the Chaos Sect is simply because, their investigation team hasn't come on any leads or done anything of note, and it really needed something to, like, go back to head base and be like, yo, we did actually something. Like, we're not wasting people's tax dollars. You feel me? And they use that as an opportunity to look good. So, the reason I cut over all this, because the entirety of world building, not the entirety, a lot of the world building right here is just done through the conversation between the card artist and the MC, and I feel like that's not overly important to yap about. You feel me?
This man got reincarnated. Look, he got reincarnated. So not only is it Western mixed with Murim, it's also mixed with reincarnation. So that's interesting. Final bit of world building I really want to talk about is when they explain the demonic art style that I mentioned in the beginning of the video, right? Basically saying it can gather martial energy up to 10 times faster than the normal method. Basically, that's just explaining what demonic arts is. And then the second panel that I showed in the part of the art style section also shows the downsides of it. Is essentially it makes you go insane. Yeah, it makes you bloodthirsty, it makes you go insane. That's really just the downsides, you feel me? And that's the end of the world building section. I would like to give the world building section a 17 out of 25. Like, it's good, yeah, but it's not that good. It's like a lot of it is just said through one person. So, but that, to be fair, it's the first 9 chapters. It is the first arc of the story. We'll probably get a lot more world building throughout the story. Like, it's not bad. It just feels too hammer fisted. It feels too fisted into my face. Pause. That sounds insane. Pause. But like having one character to like say it all doesn't hit as much as him finding it from different notebooks or him finding it from talking to a bunch of people or overhearing people talking. I feel like that is a better way to get world building done. But to be fair, that's like more of a nitpicky thing. It's probably higher for other people, especially through this conversation. Y'all probably will have your own grade of what this manhwa is. And if you have your own rating for this manhwa, drop it in the comments below. I'm very truly interested. And if you have any criticisms, I would like to know. So on to our final section. Character interactions, character dynamics is basically them talking about it like, oh, they're going to hear you. Watch your mouth, man. You don't know what sort of misconduct they'll pull this time. Let them hear it. Do you think I avoid them because I'm scared of it? I avoid it because it's disgusting. That's a perfect line. I love it. That perfectly shows that like the type of mentality everyone already has in this town, where it's like they don't like the people here, and they don't like certain bandits and the criminals here, but they can't do anything about it. And they're not. Some of them are scared, but others like, man, I don't even care, bro. I don't avoid the criminals because I'm scared of them. I avoid them because they disgust me physically. You feel me? They can do something, but who cares, bro? And then when Jang Kyung comes the first time and sees the card artist because he's trying to get his get back, he's like, fancy meeting you here of all places. What's your business here? And you can see how visibly terrified he is. You can see the other dude's face going monkey mode, like, what's happening? And see him like roughing up the card artist so he can get his cash back. And then he basically just shows him his fist, like, you better do what I say. You're gonna get punched in your face, twin. And I just love his facial reactions. Like, you don't gotta do all that. No. I may have overreacted. More character interactions when he's giving him more world building and lore, and he's telling him, oh, now you're finally curious what I'm trying to say. Let's see. Then as the information costs some silver coins, and he's like, silver coins? You gonna rob me of my damn money? I'm gonna get it back, and then you gonna try to rob me again by scamming me for information? I'm gonna beat the Mario coins out you. And he's like, you know what? You right, my fault, man. Like, it's character dynamics. It's him and his horse. I love him and his horse. It's a 3D horse. The 3D horse is actually named Jojo. And I love that because my dog is named Jonah, and we call him Jojo, so I love that. So it's Jang Hyung and Jojo. It heals and gives him, not heals him, but does acupuncture on him to slow down the bleeding. The dude's like, I don't know what I can repay you with. And he's like, how can you pay me back? Well, no need to think about it now. I got some ideas, and that's some cash flow, you feel me? He's like, oh yeah, you're right. And the main character's like, what's bothering y'all? He's like, nothing. While he looks at the severed head at his waist. It's kind of the end of character dynamics. I'm definitely giving it a 23 out of 25. I really like the character dynamic portion. It was really fun. And this will be the final score. I don't know the final score because I'm not adding it in. I'm not adding it up in real time. You feel me? And remember, if I stutter or I talk too fast, because there's no script at all. I'm trying to work on my speech. You feel me? So that's the end of this video. Here's the score. Score again. Score one more time. Score 5 different times. 10. I know I'm torturing myself later on. I know. Hope you guys like, comment, subscribe, share it to people that are interested in this review. If you can, suggest me any more manhwas. You know what I'm saying? Give me any criticism. Give me your own rating. You know what I'm saying? If you want the link to the manhwa I'm talking about, I can send you the official link to the manhwa. You want to be so embedded in the community, you feel me? Like that you can like talk to me anytime. Join the Discord. It's in the description. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Peace. All glory to God.